What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Red Beard's Garage, and this is the build of the ultimate go-kart swing arm. We had a customer reach out to us who wanted the ultimate go-kart swing arm for a Yerf Dog chassis. He's all the way in Oregon, so we decided to build it for him, and we're going to ship it out to him. So what we're going to do today is go through every part that we're going to be installing on this swing arm, and then go through the full build process of building the ultimate go-kart swing arm. For this ultimate swing arm, we're going to be doing a full build on a Predator 670cc V-twin with a full stainless steel X-pipe exhaust, so stay tuned to the channel to see the building of that engine. Of course, we're going to be using our standard 54-inch live axle with all the bearings, sprockets, and brake disc and heim joints that we need to complete this swing arm. We're also going to be mounting on one of Vegas Kart's reverse gearboxes for the big block engines. Guys, we're going to take a break from the video real fast to talk about the sponsor, and that is gunk degreasing wipes. Gunk degreasing wipes are awesome because, for one, they smell like citrus, and that's the best smell you can have in your shop. We use these to clean up after doing an engine build. We have a lot of grease and oils all over the workbench, so we use these to clean up the tools as well as the engine when we're done. The best thing about them is there's no residue left over, so you don't have to clean up a second time after using these wipes. They do not leave a sticky or greasy residue, and the best thing about them is you can leave the top open for an extended time and they don't dry out as fast as other wipes. And that is really nice. I keep a set of these under the seat in my truck. They're super handy because when I go buy new steel, my hands get super dirty and I'm able to wash up with these gunk degreasing wipes. You can use them on the engine, tools in your engine bay. You can use them to clean up your hands, and also they're dual purpose wipes. They're soft on one side, textured on the other, so you can scrub as well as polish. So make sure to check out the gunk degreasing wipes in the video's description, as well as gunk engine degreaser spray. Make sure to check them out. We love this stuff, so make sure you support your boy by supporting gunk. Check them out and get to cleaning. Let's get back to the swing arm. First, I need to lay out the design of the swing arm on my Sigmund weld table. The frame will be built from 1.5-inch square tubing with an 1/8-inch thick wall, and all the plate used on this swing arm will be 3/16 of an inch steel. Once I have my measurements, I move over to the Mac bandsaw and do all my 45-degree cuts. I like using square tubing on swing arms for the ease of mounting plates and axle hangers. I also like the beefy look of square tubing over the round tubing. This Mac saw is absolutely amazing on how accurate the cuts are. You can see the tubes literally snap into place because of the super straight cuts this Mac saw makes. This thing is an amazing piece of equipment. So pumped to have it in our shop. After quickly designing an engine plate, I can cut it out of the 3/16 sheet metal on our plasma table. The plate also houses the rear gearbox with slides for the chain tension as well as belt tension. After dressing out the live axle, I cut out my extended axle bearing flanges. This is a 5-piece set that we sell on rbgkarts.com. This will give your go-kart a few inch of lift over standard axle hangers and also will allow you to build extensions to support every inch of an axle. This turns an otherwise weak 1-inch axle into a solid unit that will not bend. Now I'll jump back on the plasma table to cut out some brake disc flanges for our live axle. Then I go on to make some quick brake caliper mounts with some 3/16 flat bar. For the rear brake caliper mount, I bent 3/16 steel into a 90-degree shape, drilled a hole in it, and welded it onto the frame. The last piece of this swing arm is the panhard bar mount. This keeps the swing arm straight during the travel. With it welded, this completes this swing arm build. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video on the build of the ultimate go-kart swing arm. Now, in go-karts and all their suspension, a basic go-kart suspension is none. You know, it's just a straight live axle welded to the frame. And then what I would call a stage 2 would be your standard swing arm that a Yerf Dog or a 150 go-kart would come with, which is where the swing arm just kind of pivots up and down. Well, this is a step above that because it's a semi-independent, as we like to call it. I know it's not independent, but it's just an easier way to call it semi-independent. So if you notice, I haven't welded anything to the front of this swing arm, and that is because he is custom modifying his frame to fit this swing arm. Since I don't have the frame here, I can't weld that front heim joint in place. He's going to have to do that, but I went ahead and pre-made that for him. So I've welded on a QS component heim joint, a 3/4 inch, and put it on the stub axle. I've also plasma cut him some braces, some gussets to put on this, and he can cut this down to size however he needs and weld it to the front of the swing arm. So how this particular swing arm design works, being semi-independent, is you have this one single heim joint pivot point on the front of the swing arm. So what that is going to allow the swing arm to do is not only pivot up and down, but it's going to be able to rock side to side like a straight axle in a truck would. So it gives you a little bit of an independent feel. You don't get as much axle hop as you would out of a standard pivoting swing arm. So you have the one central heim joint on the front, dead center of the front of the swing arm, and again, that can pivot up and down and side to side. Now, if we come around the back of the swing arm, we'll show you how everything stays in line because of this single heim joint. So if you'll notice, this is the panhard bar mount on the back of the swing arm. I built it out of boxed because I felt like it matched the swing arm better, and I think it looks sick as well, and it's super strong. But basically, you have this one long bar that bolts right there, and then he's going to build something on his chassis that comes down and grabs this. You want to set this flat at ride height. So ride height for my buggies, I like to be around 60% of travel or 50%. So that means, 40% to 50%. So that means the suspension can squat another 60%, and then it can go down another 40% from where it is when I'm sitting in it and my wife's sitting in the chassis or whoever's with me. So you want to set this flat. And what this bar is going to do is keep the swing arm from going side to side. So a lot of force is going into this arm and into this bar. So we did this with 1/8 inch thick wall tubing. We did some nice 1/2 inch heim joints from QS Components. So again, I'll be delivering it with this, and then he'll have to build the arm that comes down. I don't have the chassis here, so I can't set that up for him. You'll also notice there's no shocks on this swing arm, again, because we don't have his chassis. Now, this is a really good suspension setup. It's not the best, but it's definitely better than the standard pivoting style. So next, we're going to be doing a independent setup here soon on the channel because we're wanting to show you all the different styles of suspension and how to build them. So we walked you through putting this whole thing together. This is one of the strongest swing arms I've ever built. So Jeff, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it brings a lot of life. And this is exactly what he wanted for the buggy he's wanting to build. And we'll have a video coming out very soon on this full stainless X-pipe exhaust, as well as the build out of that Predator 670cc, which is about a stage 3-ish, 3.5 maybe. But so stay tuned for all that. Make sure to check out the links in the video's description where you can find a lot of these parts. Again, we make these axle bearing flanges, so you can do this same setup and really beef up a 1-inch axle. We make a lot of parts on there that'll help you to be able to achieve this kind of build. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay safe. Keep on fabricating. We love you. God bless.